Hey, Intuitive Soul Tribe. Mel, Intuitive Soul Coach here, excited to bring to you today's collective reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, collective, today we're going to get real. We're going to get real. We're going to get deep. We're going to look into what truth have you been running from? Maybe it's been creating a sense of self-sabotage or self-deception, because as I was tuning into the collective's energy, asking spirit, what do we need to focus on? I was seeing three specific tarot cards in my mind's eye: the Seven of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the High Priestess. So there is something here about running away from your intuition. This can be second guessing your own intuition based on nostalgia, based on FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, or living in the past, or having past conditions, past beliefs, or feeling like childhood memories may have contributed in some way, shape, or form to how you respond to life, which of course it does. That's where we learn due to family, society, teachings, religion. That's where our earliest memories of what is right, what is wrong, how to move forward and navigate through life. So I feel for some of you, there has been some sort of self-sabotage, maybe based in earlier, life memories, or it could even be past relationships. But we're going to look at the sabotaging behaviors, right? What have you been running away from? What have you been resisting, or why? How have you been sabotaging? How can you remind yourself that you're worth it, that it's worth it? And how can you better yourself at accepting kindness, love, opportunity? And we'll take a look also at your greatest strengths. We'll take a look at how you can use those strengths to achieve your goals, overcome obstacles, and help others. And then we'll take a look at your outcome. All right, what truth have you been running from? Queen of Swords and the Fool. You've been running away from some sort of new beginning, or there has been a blockage. I see for some of you, there may be a boundary that has been crossed, right? It's like running away from something, but boundaries also, it's like you've put up a whole fence, maybe even an electric fence, right? There's something here that you feel like you're getting shocked, right? Every time you come close to maybe jumping that fence, crossing over that fence in some way, shape, or form, there is a fear that you are going to get electrocuted in a way. You feel like you're going to get zapped, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get burned, because that's what's happened in the past when you let your imagination open up with this Queen of Swords. She is highly intuitive. She uses her mind in ways that, wow, it can reach beyond the corners of, reality. She is the Queen of Swords. She is air. She is intellect. She is the power of thought. She is decisions and obstacles and communication. She is in the realm of mental energy. And I feel for a lot of you, what truth have you been running from is also the downside of our thoughts, which can be talking us out of new beginnings. It can also be telling us we're foolish, right? You're a fool if you go in that direction, collective. You can't possibly have this new beginning. You're too old. You're not good enough. You're too young. You're too, short. You are too, female or male or whatever it is. Maybe you've been told a story, right? You've been told a story, and there's a part of you that wants to believe that anything is possible. You want to go back to that soul's self. That's what the Fool represents. The Fool is us that incarnates into this, body. It's the soul part of us before we take on the human form. But the truth is that as we navigate through life, Queen of Swords can be very disconnected at times from emotion or from heart's desires or sometimes even intuition when she lets the mind rule her. Right? And this is something I was talking about a month or so back about letting our thoughts control us, right? Or we control our thoughts. We can let our imagination run wild, of course. We can also use our imagination to create, to invent, to explore, to research, to learn, to evolve, to grow. But you've been running away from some sort of truth because, again, it's like you feel like you're going to hit that electric fence and you're going to be zapped in some way, shape, or form. And that's why you've been resisting change, is because there's fear here. Because the fear says that it's impossible. There also is an energy here of not fully understanding if something is your imagination or your intuition. I say that the two are closely related. They really are. But at the same time, your thoughts hold you back if they are limiting thoughts. If you tell yourself that you can't do it, or you're gonna, you want to stay back, or you have to do this, right? You have to be in this energy. You can't be in this energy. There's something here about flexibility. And if you can't go through that fence where you're at, it's almost as if you're staying in one spot, willing this door to open. Maybe you want to jump the fence, right? Maybe you think that at one point there was a doorway here, and it's almost as if Spirit is saying, but go down a little bit, take a new road or take a new path, because there is an opening elsewhere. But you may be staying in place due to some sort of limitation or some sort of fear. How have you been self-sabotaging or blocking? Let's look at the how. How has this been occurring? The Druid, ooh, okay, 5, the Hierophant. This is beliefs, right? This is corrupt advice. It is based on maybe religion, society standards. It can be the upbringing of family, what you were taught. It's basically what we said in the very beginning. So you've been sabotaging by believing in some sort of story that doesn't exist. Also, some of you may have had a dream from very early on, and maybe this dream was you want to have a family and live happily ever after, right? Maybe you had a dream, you want to get married on the beach, or whatever your dream was. And because that dream either crashed and burned, or that dream hasn't happened yet, you replaced a belief that something was impossible, that something wasn't going to happen because it didn't happen, right? It must not be meant for me. That relationship failed. I'm doomed. I'm not going to have love after loss again. That was supposed to be my one and only. It didn't work, right? Or perhaps that dream of, opening your own business, whatever it may be for you. It could be to have children. It could be to evolve and travel the world, but you had some sort of health issue or concern. I feel for some of you, because there has been a block physically that has changed your belief, right? I'm almost seeing for some of you, this Queen of Swords, something has hardened your heart. That's the truth. Queen of Swords, Libran energy here. This is a situation that you've gone through that's hardened your heart because a dream may have failed. But remember, failure is inevitable on the path towards success. It is part of the stepping stone to get to a higher evolution. Now, when the Hierophant shows up, this can teach you to take a look at your beliefs, take a look at your morals, and what you have taken on as your truth. Is it still your truth? Because whatever you believe in is going to be the results of your outcome, your destiny, because what you believe in is how you're going to base your choices, collective. So what have you been resisting, right? Or how have you been self-sabotaging? Is there something around softening into belief again, softening into your imagination and allowing yourself to dream, to utilize the energy of the mind and, think of what's possible. Even if something didn't work out the way that you thought it was going to, maybe you didn't get that offer, or you're still single, or you haven't bought your dream home yet, whatever it is, it could be, materialistic, it could be something spiritual, it could be health, it could be relationship, you name it. You've been sabotaging by believing in a story that's just not true. So how can you remind yourself that you're worth it, that it's worth it? How can you open back up to imagining that this new beginning for you is available, that it is possible? How do you remind yourself? 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands is grounding your energy, right? Needing to ground, because sometimes we can feel so much going on out here, or even in the mind, the thoughts, right? There's so much competition. There's so much external energy coming at us. For some of you, it can be that you are highly empathic. You're picking up on the energies of others. But how can you remind yourself that it's worth it and that you're worth it? Realize and remember that everyone has come to earth on their own soul's journey, right? And even if that journey didn't end in the happy, fairy tale ending, that there's always a second chance. The universe never tires of giving you second chances. Sometimes you get tired, right? Sometimes you get tired and say, Mel, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of trying to survive. I'm tired of lack of leadership or debates or competitiveness or criticism. I'm just sick of the obstacles. I get you. I get you. But you're worth it. And trust and know that all of this struggle, all of this strife that you've gone through will settle. There's something here with the dust settling. So believe that you're worth it. Believe that whatever you're fighting for, or for some of you, it feels like you've given up on the fight, but you haven't, because there's some fire in you. Even though there's change, even though there's obstacles, even though there may be conflict and you may be uncertain, Spirit is saying that you are worth all of this and some, because you're coming out stronger. There's another version of yourself, a more wise, more versatile, also more experienced version of you. And you could turn this into something quite magical, because you have the experience, you have the wisdom to maybe teach, help, and heal others. How do you better yourself? At accepting kindness, accepting love, opening up your heart, your imagination, your intuition. I just heard boundaries as well, and that may be something you have been working heavily towards, collective. But let's look here. 3 of Wands, beautiful. 3 of Wands is foundation. How do you better yourself at accepting kindness, love, and opportunity? By realizing the free will of choice, that we all have choices, but knowing that you are not alone. And this is the basis of your foundation. Something beautiful is growing. You can see it almost looks like little cherry tomatoes. I think it's strawberry plants, but there's something growing out of a challenge that you've gone through, some sort of back and forth energy, but it is about, something sweet coming in here for you. How do you better yourself? By being kind to yourself, being, sweeter to yourself, and knowing that there is a rainbow, that you've got through some sort of storms, right? The rainbow doesn't come unless it rains. And I feel for a lot of you, there's a purification happening. So how do you better yourself? Purify your energy, whatever that may mean for you. Ground your energy. Get back to this Fool. Get back to the soul's self. This is spontaneity. It's taking a risk, taking a chance, embracing the unknown. And I feel like you've blended in for so long. Look at the green man. You can barely see him there because he's out in nature, right? He is blending in with the background, the environment, and how interesting that we see all the blackberries here. And so there's something with blackberries, strawberries, something with berry. I mean, someone could have a name of that's berry as well, or berry could be in someone's name. But I also get it's time for you not to blend in any longer. Maybe that's what you've been trying to do, is just blend in, but you're meant to stand out, collective. How do you better yourself? That realizing that you're not your experiences. Yes, they've played a huge role in your life, but you don't have to define yourself and think of yourself based on how someone else sees your worth. And that's what you have been running from at times, is the truth of who you are. And you are this beautiful, creative, imaginative soul that has the ability here to really be a spiritual leader, a teacher, a healer, to make a difference, to set some new rules into place. This has to do with the universal laws, right? Law of attraction, law of cause and effect, law of karma. I also feel like some of you have the gift of tapping into your Akashic records, maybe even helping other people through creative thoughts, right? Reprogramming, the power of the mind, manifestation, but also to take action and to back something up here, right? To bring it to fruition. And that's what this Three of Wands is all about, is bringing something to reality, because you've made some choices. This is a return on your investment. How do you better yourself? Remembering that there is going to be a return. Absolutely. And this is also about patience. It's hard work pays off. Spirit is saying, don't take your eye off the prize. Collective, you are the prize. You are the strawberries here, right? And you have the ability to grow and grow and grow. If you know strawberries, they can take off like wildfire, right? You get one bush and then they just start to spread. And I feel like there's sweet results here awaiting. And Spirit again is reminding you, you're bettering yourself by knowing that you're worth it, not taking your eye off of, whatever it is that you wanted, whatever that dream was, whatever you're running away from is actually part of your destiny. You're looping around is what's happening. I also am seeing some sort of jump rope or hopscotch here. Some of you, maybe that was something you played when you were younger. Some of you have children that maybe they're jump roping as you're listening to this. But I also am getting, you being playful, being creative. It could also be going back to a childhood dream that you had, or some memories. Let's take a look at your unique strengths. What are the strengths that you possess? What are some strengths that you possess here, collective? We have the moon. Okay, I like this as your strength, because what this means is you have the ability to expose the shadows, to understand and realize that these things are, illusions, the lies that we tell ourselves, the stories that we have weaved into our energy, that They are old stories. They are old illusions that no longer exist. That is your greatest strength, is to expose them. That's what this reading is about, is exposing sabotaging behaviors and self-deception. So when the moon shows up as your greatest strengths, this is about the subconscious. It's about intuition and trusting that even though you're stepping into the unknown with the Fool, that whatever you need, Spirit is going to help you light the way, right? You have this natural lantern, like the hermit. You have the lantern within you. It's not the lantern itself, right? It's the light within it. And you have the ability here to expose the darkness and to trust it and know that you're protected and you're taken care of. And if there are things that are illusions, casting a shadow, causing fears, false evidence appearing real, you have the strength to shine that inner light on whatever that may be and face something head on. Because when you face it, it's going to lead you directly towards a brand new beginning. How can you use this strength to achieve your goals? Yeah, some of you have a belief that your self-worth is based on how much money you make, what you look like, the house you live in, something about competitiveness amongst siblings. It's like maybe a sibling is a doctor, another one is a very successful lawyer, and you are a business owner for a metaphysical shop. Whatever it may be, it almost feels like some form of competition has played into a belief system. And the truth is that you chose this path because it was something that you wanted to explore. It's something for you to be proud of, collective, not to run away from it. Embrace all of your qualities. Embrace all of your flaws, your imperfections, because within that energy is perfection, right? And I feel, how do I say that? It's not, there is something here with perfectionism. Okay, maybe that is the energy. I feel like it's almost imperfectly perfect is kind of what I'm trying to say here. It doesn't have to do with everything being perfect. That's control. That's an illusion. It really is. But for some of you, you're shattering through that illusion of perfectionism, of people pleasing, of letting people encroach into your space, your boundaries, by letting people tell you how you should live your life. That's something you are stopping. You're stopping because you're facing it. Instead of running from that, instead of just coasting and letting that belief or that energy of what we just said kind of come through and dictate your moves, you're stopping it. Have you ever been in a dream where you've been chased? Right? I have. You've been in a dream where you're being chased and you just want to run and run and run, and you wake up before the person catches up with you. But if you're familiar with lucid dreaming, this is something I've worked with as well. If you can lucid dream, you can face whatever you're running from, because chances are that is an aspect of yourself. In those dreams where you're running away from something, it's some sort of fear or something within yourself. And most of the time, if you stop and turn around and address it, maybe it's an animal, maybe you're being chased by an animal, take a look at those characteristics that animal holds. I'd love to hear it. If you guys have that, if you've had that happen, drop it in the comments. Tell me about your dreams, because this also, the moon does represent dreams. Some of you may have had a repetitive dream as a child. One of mine was the elusive falling dream, right? Falling, going around a cliff with no sides, right? Very fast on a dark night, a very windy road, and you go over the edge, but you wake up before you land, but you can feel that fall in the pit of your stomach. That's a dream that was reoccurring over and over and over for me. So share your dreams. Drop them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear. How can you use this strength to achieve Your obstacles. Okay. How can you use that moon? Oh, the underworld. Ooh, I like this. Guess what this is? The Temperance. The Temperance is facing the unknown. This is the shadows, right? That's what this reading is about, is the deep, the dark, the elusive, the mysterious. It's the underworld. And a lot of times, Temperance doesn't always come across as, dark or hidden, but it really is. You can see the swine. Look at that piggy, right? There's something here about fantasies, sins, right? What are they, like the 7 deadly sins? The swine and the dragons, like slaying the dragons. The Temperance comes in to help you blend the earthly realm with the spiritual world, right? The underworld, which is probably like earth, right? I don't believe in hell. I believe hell is what we create at times, or a karmic energies here on earth. But it can also be the underworld of our own purgatory, our own thoughts. That may be part of what you are running from. And it could be holding you in this underworld energy. But how can you use the strength to achieve your goals is to reach down to the shadows. But the beautiful thing about the Temperance energy collective is there's always a Temperance angel. There's always the angel of, light. And, there could be an angel here that some call the angel of darkness. But I feel like there's it almost feels like a fallen angel type of energy. But I also see that you're protected. The angelic realm protects. And that's what you are being asked to recognize, is there is a sense of protection as you face some of these. It's not going to be the easiest thing, right? If it was, we wouldn't be running from it. It is about you facing your fears and having the self-control to temper some sort of emotions, because this can be a highly emotional energy with the moon. It can lead us to paths of destruction, right? Think of emotions as waves. Sometimes they're tidal waves. Sometimes they're like the undertow. They can be like the riptide. Other days they are soft and they're flowing. Emotions can really get the best of us. And I feel like the Temperance energy here is about patience, patience with yourself. Use this strength to be patient as you hit new depths within your subconscious. As you face some of the energies here below, right, on a deeper subconscious level, as you bring them up to fully heal, know that you are safe. You're in a safe space here, even though the mind may be telling you it's not safe, right? That's the mind playing tricks. That's why the Temperance is here saying, we got you. What's the outcome here? If the collective, if you guys face your truth head on, no more running, no more sabotaging, right? And you know you're worth it. You know that it's part of your destiny to have some sort of new beginning. What's the outcome here if you face what you're running from? What's the outcome if you face what you're running from? Page of Cups, you open your heart. You open your heart and you're able to reflect. You're able to see the reflections in others. What you focus on grows. What energy you embrace is going to be the energy that you attract. Remember the universal laws. Page of Cups is also about prosperity, and that is the biggest fish I've ever seen on the Page of Cups. Typically, it's a small fish that can probably fit in the cup, but if you look at this trout, it is huge. So there is a big opportunity here for you to embrace prosperity, because the fish represent prosperity. When the Page of Cups shows up here for you, and we have 2 more, this is some sort of emotional situation. It can be the beginning of love. It can be reflecting on how much you truly love yourself, collective. This can be childhood. It can be innocence. Some of you, your innocence was stolen. There's something here about childhood trauma, some sort of innocence being taken away. And it may have caused you to run from love. It may have caused you to find love or look for love in all the wrong places. It may have caused you to, at times, get hurt easily, be naive, or even miss the signs because you wanted what you wanted, even if it, was challenging or difficult. But there is this energy of reflection, and you're now able to see something you weren't able to see once you face it, of course. What else do we have? Two major arcanas. We have the Emperor and the Tower. This is a foundational shift. Yes, it may create a huge change. This is a major spiritual awakening. And for some of you, it has to do with stability. For some of you, it has to do with a father or a masculine energy. Because when you have the Emperor and the Tower show up together, and look at what's there right on the side. You can't make that up. Your greatest strength. What's on the Tower? The moon. The moon is right there. That's your greatest strength, to be able to overcome these changes that are going to take place when you stop running, right? And it's going to allow you to fully feel empowered. It's going to empower you, right? I mean, think of a fear that you may have. So for example, I love skydiving, and I love, taking risks that feel like I'm safe at the same time, like I'm safe, but it's still scary, right? And just the other weekend, I went to a water park, a water amusement park, and there is some rides that completely leave your stomach way up at the top, or there's a free fall, and I thought, what am I doing? Oh my gosh, I can't do this. I almost wanted to go back down the stairs, and it was it was very, very scary. But I'd climbed the tower, right? I've climbed all the way up there. I did the work. I put in the effort, but my mind was trying to tell me, Mel, you're going to die, right? Maybe it wasn't you're going to die, but it was a lot of fear. Fear of, oh my gosh, you are not in control. That's what the fear was. A sense of loss of control. And that's what the Tower and the Emperor represent, is you may feel like things are out of control. But what happened when I hit the toilet bowl, because that's kind of what it was a big old toilet bowl that drops you. And I came out of it, and there's a sense of feeling empowered, like, wow, that was a rush. That was intense. That was amazing. And then you realize that it's okay to not need to be in control, that there is a divine protection. And that's exactly what I see here happening for you. Now, of course, it's going to probably be more intense than a water park amusement ride. But I feel for a lot of you, you're going to come out of it feeling more empowered and actually feeling more in control of your circumstance, because right now there's a sense of loss of control. Like, I can't control it. Or you may feel like if you stay where you're at, that you can control the dynamic. So I do feel like there's something about releasing control that's actually going to help you feel more in control of so it almost feels like a little bit of a dichotomy there. But I feel like you are being asked to let something crumble, let something fall apart, let a belief system fall apart, collective. Let, some sort of foundation or stability, or, even a situation of the past, allow yourself to crumble. We are told we have to hold it together. You cannot break. What happens if you just allow, right? Maybe the biggest transformation and change could be your ultimate happiness. That is what I have for you, collective. I hope it resonates. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. I would love for you guys to tell me a time where you released control. It could be something minor. Maybe it is, you overcame your fears by jumping out of a plane, or you overcame some sort of fear. Remember that if you did it then, you can do it again. And I want your soul work assignment, whether you want to do it or not, but if this reading resonates with you and you tend to self-sabotage, I want you to create a list. Get out your pen and paper or your note section on your phone. And I want you to compile a list of every time you push through a fear. I want you to name that fear, and I want you to put on the other side, what was the outcome? What happened when I pushed through this fear? And I want you to compile a list. So whenever you are running from some sort of truth, I want you to whip out that list, and I want you to remember that's that 7. Didn't we see the 7 of Pentacles? Maybe not. I'm getting 7 of Pentacles. Some of you, this is a 7-year cycle, or 7 is significant. That's about inner awareness. Some of you may be a life path 7 or in a 7 personal year, but I feel like it's important that you reflect to remind yourself that you are worth it. Remind yourself that you have the ability to do it. And also it can bring you to a point of, strength, helping you see through situations by remembering what you've gone through. Drop it in the comments below. Let me know a time in your life when you've pushed through fear. I would love to hear it. Thank you so much, collective, for tuning in. I hope this resonates. Lots of love to you. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, bell, notification, and subscribe if you haven't already. Lots of love.